From the Bay Area's local news station, we begin now with breaking news.
Good morning, I'm Daria Folsom.
And I'm James Fletcher. The breaking news, SFO. You're looking at a live picture right now where we have some smoke billowing up and sort of collecting right there over the airport. There was a fire that broke out at the United Airlines maintenance hangar, which is just located on the north side of the airport property. This is not affecting airport travel or airport operations. Again, this is just north of the airport itself. If you've ever had to pick somebody up at SFO and you've had to go to the cell phone pickup
the cell phone lot, yeah.
This is over there.
Okay.
They've got that giant United hangar that's over there. People are familiar. This is off San Bruno Avenue. It's sort of that auxiliary parking area just north of the airport. Well, this is that hangar area. That's where this fire is located.
And this is the view of the fire when it was bad, when it was darker smoke and everything from a distance. And then we can also go to a map that shows the area a little bit better.
Sort of the Google Earth satellite view from above. I don't know if we can switch to that right now, but oh, there it is. So the airport itself is on the bottom edge of the screen, and there you can see it just coming through the bottom edge. Then as we zoom into the hangar area, you'll see there's the auxiliary parking area on the left where you'd have your cell phone pickup, and it's the facility to the right that you see, that large facility. In fact, as we zoom in, you'll probably be able to see there are the backs of like airplanes.
Oh, like in little air, like a parking area.
If you keep zooming in, you'll see there in the center of your screen, there's an airplane that's sort of pulled up to the facility. And this is where all the maintenance work is done on these aircraft.
So we don't know what went wrong or what was burning. They clearly have gotten a better handle on it because the smoke is dissipating and it's white. But you kind of wonder, you know, was it a plane? Was it, you know, did something go wrong? Like when the maintenance guys were working on it? Or
so they'll clearly have to investigate that. But the good news is that the airport fire and some of the surrounding local agencies have responded. And looks like they've got it well under hand. But we'll keep you updated as more information comes in.
Okay. And again, good news is it's not affecting flights in or out, because we know that that can happen at the drop of a hat. And the weather is also cooperating. And it's not cloudy or foggy or windy particularly.
Yeah, it's looking great out there at SFO besides the obvious, which is that plume of smoke. And really across the Bay Area this morning, we are definitely seeing clearer skies than yesterday and some pretty calm conditions, too, compared to the breezy start to the week that we have had. Looking outside from Berkeley right here, still a few areas of low-lying clouds, but the hills are illuminated under some sunshine that is increasing and will be seen increasing all the way through the day today. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s with Mountain View and Hayward at 61. Pittsburgh right there with you. Fairfield, Concord, Oakland in the low 60s. Berkeley, San Francisco, and Vallejo all at 58 degrees right now. Now later on today, plenty more sunshine to expect. 60s, 70s, and 80s is where our daytime highs are about to be. Really comfortable range of numbers, just a touch warmer than yesterday. The rest of your forecast is still to come. Robin?
A busy commute into San Francisco at this hour. Do expect a big backup at the toll plaza, spilling into the Oakland maze from all connector ramps. A little bit better in the fast track lanes closer to the tolls, and of course the carpool lanes look fantastic, but it's crowded and it's going to stay like this for the remainder of the hour. We are checking in on the East Shore, 20 minutes from Crockett down to the maze. I am just getting word of a new accident right around Cutting in your left lane, so that's going to push that number up. And then checking the Guadalupe Parkway, 87 north, 13 minutes, not bad, from 85 to 101 in San Jose. James, Daria.
Thanks a lot, Robin. 8:02, and our top story this morning that we're following is in the North Bay, where newborn twins were found near a dumpster in Fairfield.
Yeah, disturbing story. One of those babies, we understand, has died. The other is being treated in the hospital. KRON 4's Christina Tatro joining us live with the update this morning. Christina?
We do have some good news to this bizarre story. That second newborn, as you had mentioned, James, he is in the hospital, and very luckily the newborn is what we are hearing in stable condition, has been since last night. We did put in calls to the police department and are continuing to follow up on his condition throughout the day as well. But this bizarre situation all happened yesterday between around 4 and 4:30 in the afternoon, actually in a shopping center here in Fairfield, and it was off of Highway 80 and Pittman Road, closest Scandia Fun Center, again here in Fairfield. Now, what had happened is an employee working in a nearby business actually saw a pregnant woman outside who looked like she was in pain. The employee then called the police. When officers arrived, they found 2 newborns abandoned behind a dumpster. One didn't make it, the other hanging on for its life. As I had mentioned, that baby is now at a nearby hospital and is in stable condition. Now, during this time, the mother nowhere to be found. Officers later found the woman on Central Place in Fairfield. Now, a nearby business owner also said his employees had seen the pregnant woman earlier.
But one day she was sitting on the bench and just talking to herself, I guess, and that's when one of my employees noticed she was pregnant, which I didn't know that. I didn't even notice it last night when she was walking behind the building.
Now, I spoke with one man here in town who didn't want to be on camera, but when he learned about this event that had happened and the fact that these two newborns were found by a dumpster, he used the word sickening, and he kept repeating that this is just a sickening situation. And he actually told me within his 10 years of living here in the North Bay, this is not the first time he's heard of an incident like this, and he just wants all of these different types of abandonment situations to stop. Now, the mother, she is currently in the hospital and has been detained by police. I'm reporting live here in Fairfield. Christina Tatro, Cron 4 News.
Okay, thank you, Christina.
8:04 is the time right now, and as we continue to follow the big story, which is the mass shooting that happened at the Gilroy Garlic Festival, there are still investigators out there now this morning.
Yeah, it looks like they'll be there for a few more days. The FBI taking the lead in some aspects. Cron 4's Will Tran joining us live. And Will, it looks like they found a duffel bag in the creek, right? Isn't that one of the newer developments?
That's right. Inside that duffel bag, they found ammunition which they believe belonged to the shooter who burst into the festival on Sunday. There were thousands of people in attendance, not knowing that he was armed with an assault rifle. And thank goodness the deputies jumped in and stopped it, because not only did he have the assault rifle, they said the duffel bag was full of ammunition. This continues to be a crime scene. And from my FBI sources, they will be here at least through tomorrow, possibly even longer. But so because they shut it down, James and Daria, they were able to track down that duffel bag along the creek. And it was along the creek where this man here, Santonio Lagan, on Sunday used some wire cutters, some sort of tool, bypassed the metal detectors, went into the festival and started shooting at people. 3 people died, 12 others injured. The deputies pounced on the situation, diffusing the situation within a minute or so, killing him. And because he's dead, they cannot interrogate him, which is why they're looking into his background, his cell phone use, what he did on the internet, what he did on social media sites, because at this point, they still don't have a motive. Yes, he looked into white supremacist themes, but they're not saying that he was a white supremacist. And then a couple of days before the festival, he posted on Instagram, read, "Might is right." And that is important to investigators, because that is a manifesto from 1890, which is very popular with white supremacists and neo-Nazis. And they're wondering if he was influenced, if this was racially motivated. That's still one of the things that they need to look into. Here's the FBI talking about all the background work that they need to do on this gunman.
We've got to get into the computers, the towers, the thumb drives, the phone, to get a holistic picture of him, who he was in touch with, what sentiments and thoughts he shared with others, or he's cataloged for his own consumption.
So in other words, James and Daria, they need to get into his head, try to find out what he was thinking. They also have, at this particular point, strongly ruled out, not completely yet, but they're strongly leaning towards not having a second suspect. And the reason being, despite all those witnesses, and they believe those witnesses, which is why for the past several days they told the community there could be somebody else out there, but they did track his movements. They went to the stores, they looked at the video, took the video. In each case, when they looked at the video, Lagan walked in by himself, which is why at this point they believe he acted alone. They did retrieve a shotgun from his car, which they impounded late yesterday, or excuse me, on Monday evening. They took it away, so they removed a shotgun, and they also went to his apartment in Nevada, and reportedly they also took more ammunition from that location as well. But the big question, why? That's still unanswered this morning. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Will.
8:08 is the time right now, and as far as the victims go, well, we're seeing vigils now for some of them, and Power Academy in San Jose is where 13-year-old Kayla Salazar went to school. And here's her family grieving. She was one of the 3 who were killed at the Garlic Festival, and her aunt describes her as a positive beam of light in the family. You can see all of the people going there to honor her. The staff says she was very involved and a curious student and wanted to be an animation artist when she grew up.
We wanted to be here because we think it's important that the community knows who Kayla is and how important she is for us.
The family is just obviously having such a hard time dealing with this emotionally. They are getting not only hugs, as you can see, and support, they're also getting money. Her GoFundMe page has reached $60,000 so far. And then it's the same for the family of 6-year-old Steven Romero. They can barely speak now, days after this little boy was shot and killed, and his mother and one of his grandmothers also shot. His other grandmother talking about how he was always kind and such a playful kid. But listen to his cousin. He can barely talk about it still.
And then when my mom told me that my Steven passed away while I was with my cousins when my mom was in the hospital, and so was my other family. I couldn't tell my other cousins that he passed away. I hold it to myself for a day. So I convinced myself so hard that Steven was still alive, kicking.
So hard for those left behind, like the fiance here of 25-year-old Trevor Irby. She was getting ready to get married to him. He was killed at the Garlic Festival, the third person to be gunned down before the police were able to stop that gunman. He's from New York, and the two of them were living in Santa Cruz, and they were at the festival together, and that now life has been cut short as well. You can go to our website at crown4.com. We've got more information on all of the victims, the ways that you can help them, and the ways that you can get help if you need it. Because as you can see, this is a really hard thing for people to get over, this type of trauma.
In fact, they've set up a family assistance center, an emotional assistance center in Gilroy. It was created to help the families and all the many people who are having a difficult time coping with what happened. Many folks still in shock. KRON 4's Teresa Stasio gives us a closer look.
The people in Gilroy, in this community, are strong and resilient.
Santa Clara District Attorney Jeff Rosen talking at the temporary grieving center set up for those impacted by that tragedy at the Gilroy Garlic Festival, leaving 3 people dead and countless physically injured and mentally scarred.
With the help of the Santa Clara County Behavioral Services, the Red Cross, and the FBI, we've set up this family assistance center. It's not just for the people that were physically wounded that day. It's for anybody who was at the festival who needs some help or information, even for their loved ones as well.
Throughout the day, families ventured in, most too embarrassed to talk out loud about their feelings.
We're seeing people come in, they have a lot of questions about property return, about their vehicles, and so I know that the FBI is working diligently to get that process started and to do all that they can. So I think that they're asking the public to have some patience with them, just as long as, for them to figure things out and coordinate services. So that's a really big need that we've discovered. I think promoting the services at the FAC will allow people to actually know about the services that are available for them. So I think one of the issues is that people don't know that there are resources and support services. So
2 therapy dogs were on hand to help out.
They're coming in with a range of emotions, and any of the emotions that they are experiencing right now is normal. We're here trying to help them realize what services are available to them, and we have both Namaste and Odie, our other facility dog, and they are bringing great comfort to everyone that is around them, whether it be the children or adults.
And it's not just counselors here to give assistance, but the Victim Witness Program through the DA's office can also provide some financial assistance. Here in Gilroy, Teresa Stasio, KRON 4 News.
And again, a reminder, we will continue to cover the very latest with the Garlic Festival shooting throughout our broadcast here, but then also between our broadcasts as well. If there's a press conference, if there's new information, we'll send it out to you in the form of an alert. You can catch that on KRON4.com. You can also receive those on our 24-hour streaming news service, KRON On. It's a new app. If you haven't downloaded it yet, go to KRONON.tv to find out more about it. The time is 8:13. We'll take a quick break, and as we go, an update on the very latest from SFO, where you can see the smoke has definitely dissipated quite a bit since it first started appearing about a half hour ago. We had a fire burning just north of the airport at the United Airlines maintenance facility. It looks like an air conditioning unit may have caught fire, but clearly, as you can see in this shot, they've got it under control. Looks like they've put it out. There were evacuations in that facility, but nobody was hurt. We'll be right back.